Resume. Right. So if you're lying down, finding a comfortable position down the mat. If you're sitting up, see if you can encourage through the upper back. So if I'm sitting up, I've got quite freedom of movement as there is nothing blocking me behind, so I can rotate. So this time it's just instead of just turning the head, I'm going to turn the head and the ribcage too. If I'm lying down on the mat, obviously the back is resting against the back of the mat, so I'm a little bit limiting the amount of movement, but I can still rotate. I'm just going to reach the arms to the front and then trying to turn the shoulders to one side, feeling the back of one shoulder coming away from the ground and then the other one rolling into the mat. Then I'm going to rotate to the other side, come back, and then the other way. So nice and gentle from side to side. Same as you did for the neck. See if you can find that nice, easy movement. I'm trying to work my range to see if I can maybe go a little bit deeper, but without forcing. If you're lying down, you've got the floor to guide you. So the movement has to be a rotation, unless you can feel that your bum is moving too, in which case you're just turning the all of the body. You just want to turn the shoulders. If you're sitting up, see if you can be aware. Imagine the spine like a solid pole planted on the chair, planted on the floor. See if I can picture myself turning around that paw, making sure that I'm not bending and twisting the paw out of shape. So it's still a straight line. I'm just rotating around it, come back to the center, and then rotating the other way. Notice the shoulders, the tendencies for the shoulders to start creeping up to your head, to your ears. So see if you can encourage the shoulders to drop down, the neck to stay relaxed. 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the middle, I'm going to rotate to the right, and then same as I did for the neck, this time I'm going to hold the rotation. Reaching with the arms if you're lying down on the back, trying to draw that right shoulder back and that left through. If I'm sitting up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unwinding back to the middle, and then trying again, same side, rotating to the right, holding, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, coming back to the middle, last time, rotating to the right, holding, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Exactly the same thing to the left. Just I'm going to reach with the arms, turning through the shoulders, the rib cage. Think of that left shoulder drawing back, the right shoulder coming through. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back. And then again, rotating. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, easing back. Last time, rotate. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, adjusting the rib cage. Just a little bit more movement through the thoracic. I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit of movement down into that lumbar. Staying with the rotation. If you're lying down, bending the knees, walking the feet up and towards the hips, the feet and knees are nice and close together. I'm going to squeeze the knees together, and then the opposite to what I did now. Instead of trying to turn the shoulders, I'm going to try and hold the shoulders to the floor and then turn the hips, so turn the legs to the side. So this time the legs will start rotating from one side over to the other. So see if you can picture the movement a little bit further down the back this time. If I'm sitting up, I'm a little bit restricted as my bum is sitting on the chair, so I'm sitting on the hips, so I can't move them very much. So see if you can think of turning the shoulders and then pushing away the legs at the same time. So I'm going to turn the shoulders one way, push the legs the other, is back to the center, and the shoulders one way, and then push the legs to the other side. So see if I can create a little bit more movement down into the bottom of the spine, into that longer spine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the middle, I'm going to take the legs over to the right, and then this time hold them there. See if you can use the breath to relax. So each exhale, think of the hips are turning just a little bit more. The legs are dropping a little bit heavier to the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to center, and then repeating again. So I'm going to rotate the legs, take the legs to the right, holding them there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the middle. Last time. Turning the legs, turning the hips to the right, holding there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And easing back, adjusting the hips if you need to, and then taking the legs over to the left this time, and rotating to the other side, holding. Each exhale, think of the legs sinking a little bit deeper, a little bit further around. 3, 2, 1. Easing the legs back to the middle, and then trying again, taking them to the left, holding them there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Last time, taking them to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Again, adjusting the hips, adjusting the spine. It's a little bit more movement through the spine. I'm going to try and see if I can stay with the back, but this time changing the direction. Instead of rotation, I'm going to go into a little lateral flexion. So I'm going to start off with the head again, with the neck. If you're lying down, keeping the head on the floor on the mat. If I'm sitting up, see if I can keep the chin high, making sure that it doesn't drop down to the chest. So I'm not looking at the floor, I'm always looking straight ahead. And then picture your right ear moving to your right shoulder. So I'm going to ease that right ear down to the right shoulder, ease back to the center, and then left ear to the left shoulder, and then back to the center. Same as you did for the rotation. It doesn't matter if the movement feels small, making sure that you don't feel that your shoulders are suddenly lifting or lowering. The shoulders are keeping nice and still. I can feel a gentle stretch coming down the side of the neck, from the base of the ear, coming down the side of the neck to the top of the shoulder. There shouldn't be pain, so I don't want to force. There's no shooting pain down the arms. There's no tingling into the fingertips. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Using the head back to the middle, I'm going to take the right ear to the right shoulder, and then I'm just going to hold it there. Now, if you feel that you can make the stretch a little bit stronger with your left arm, see if you can reach down along the side of the body. So I'm going to create a little bit more traction. So with the head, I'm going to try and go to the right, and with the arm, I'm going to pull down on the left. So see if I can create a little bit more stretch down the side of the neck to the top of the shoulder. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the center, and then I'm going to try again. Right ear to the right shoulder, and then if I can, with the left arm, I'm going to reach down along the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the center. Last time. Right ear to the right shoulder, left arm reaching away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming back, adjusting the shoulders, releasing through the neck. I'm going to repeat the same thing to the other side. So left ear drops to the left shoulder, and then holding it there. Same as before. If I can make the stretch a little bit stronger, then with the right arm, I'm going to reach down the side to see if I can create a little bit more traction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to center, and then trying again. Left ear to the left shoulder, pulling down with the right arm. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the middle. Last time. Left ear to the left, arm pulling down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, bringing the head back to the center. Same as we did before. From cervical, we're going to move down into the thoracic spine. So if you're lying down, you might want to support the head, as the head will have to lift slightly off the ground, as you've got to take it with you. So with the left hand, I might reach to the back of the head to support it. If I'm sitting up, I don't need to support the head, as the head is supported on top of the shoulder. With that left arm, I'm going to reach down the side, and then this time I'm going to try and flex from the upper back. So I'm going to try and flex through the side, reaching with my left hand as far down the side as I can. Then I'm going to ease my way back to the center, swapping the arms if I'm supporting the head. And then with the right arm, I'm going to reach down the side towards the right foot, towards the right leg. Coming back to center, and then over to the left side again. So these times, if you can picture the spine flexing sideways, so bending sideways. So especially, again, if you're lying down, you've got the mat to guide you. So the shoulders are on the mat, I'm moving to the side, but my back is pretty much staying on the floor. If I'm sitting up, imagine to be sitting with your back against the wall. As I'm flexing from side to side, see if I can think of my back staying on the wall. So making sure that I'm not suddenly looking down at the floor. I'm still looking up, straight in front of me. I'm not dropping my gaze, I'm not dropping the head. And then noticing maybe if there is any difference between the right and the left side. One side might be feeling a little bit more restricted. Notice the tension into the side of the belly, like a 2 little sets of pulleys. The belly is tensing to pull you down and relaxing on the opposite side, and then tensing to pull you back up and then relaxing the opposite way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to the middle. I want you to reach down the right side, and then same as before, hold it there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it back to center, and then trying again, reaching down the right to see if I can maybe go a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to center. Last time, reaching down the right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming back. Adjusting the shoulders. Same thing to the left. So reaching down with that left arm, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming back. And again, reaching down, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and pull it back. Last time, reaching down the side, holding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back. Releasing the shoulders, again, adjusting the back. Just a little bit more movement through the thoracic spine. Same as I did for the rotation. This time I'm going to try and focus on the lumbar spine, on the lower back. So if you're laying down, a little bit easier, again, as I've got the floor to guide me. If I'm sitting up, see if you can think of your right seat bone lifting off the chest. I'm going to try and hitch my right hip up towards the rib cage, and then I'm going to drop it. Then I'm going to hitch that left hip and then drop. Hitch the right, drop, hitch the left and drop. So as if I was trying to lift my right seat bone, drop it down, my left seat bone, and then drop it down. If you're lying down on the back, you're going to do exactly the same thing, but you'll be flat on the back. So I'm going to try and pull my right hip towards the right side of the rib cage and then relax. And then the left to the left side of the rib cage and relax. So the movement that the upper body was doing earlier, this time it's your hips, it's your bum that is doing it now. So feeling the hips are moving gently from one side to the other. Again, noticing the tension at the side of the belly as I'm trying to lift the hip up towards the ribs this time. And then I'm going to try the same thing the other way. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to the middle, I want to hitch the right hip up and then hold it there. So keeping that tension strong on the right side of the belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ease that tension. Try again. Pulling the right hip towards the right side of the rib cage, holding the tension. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Last time. Hitching the hip up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Left side. Left hip towards the left side of the rib cage. Feel that tension on the side of the belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. And again, hitch it up, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Last time, hitching up, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And releasing back. Releasing the hips again, adjusting the hips, stretching through the hips, doing whatever I need to reset the hips, the back in a comfortable position. I feel the back feels a little bit looser. I feel a little bit more relaxed through. I'm going to start opening up the movements a little bit more. So this time I'm just going to focus on the legs and focusing on the upper body, rolling over onto your side if you're lying down, and then setting yourself into a side line. I'm just going to use the arm to support the head, pillow, resting the head down onto the ground if that feels comfortable enough, and reaching the arm straight forward, straight ahead of you. The legs are together, the knees are together, so slightly forward to the body line. I'm going to start creating a little rotation. So with the top arm, I'm going to reach up to the ceiling. I'm going to turn the rib cage to the ceiling and then really trying to get a nice stretch across the front of the chest. I'm going to open up and turn to face the ceiling. The knees are still together, they're still on the ground. I'm going to ease my way back and then I'm going to try again. If you're sitting up, exactly the same. I'm going to repeat on the same side. With one hand, I'm just going to block the knees so that they don't start swinging, they don't start moving. With the other arm, I'm going to open to the side. Imagine to be holding a glass of water into the palm of the hand. So see how far I can take the glass of water without dropping it. Then I'm going to ease my way back and then I'm going to try again. So I'm going to hold that leg and then trying to pass the water behind me and then coming back. especially if you're, it doesn't matter if you're lying down or sitting up. See if you can be aware of the position of the shoulder as the arm reaches around. The tendency, if the back is stiff or the shoulder is tight, is for the arm to start hitching up or for the shoulder to start hitching up to the head. So it feels as if the shoulder is really close to my ear, close to my neck. See if you can encourage the shoulder to stay down, the neck to stay nice and long, nice and free to move. 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, releasing the shoulder, releasing the arm. I'm going to focus on that leg, same side. So if you're lying down on the side, stay on your side. If you're sitting up, you can use the opposite arm to hold onto the leg, or you can use the band. I'm just going to wrap it around my legs and then put a little tension into the band. Then with the leg, same side as the arm that I was moving, I'm going to start pushing out to the side. So I'm going to push against the resistance of the band to see if I can make the side of the hip, the side of the bum activate to create that opening. See if you can focus just on one leg. So the other leg is not doing anything, it's just holding, and then one is pushing out into the band, pushing out against the palm of the hand. If you're lying down, you don't need any resistance around that legs, as the weight of the leg should already be enough. I'm just going to start opening up into my clamp. The feet are staying together. I'm going to start rotating and lifting the leg up at the same time. See if I can get the side of the hip, the side of the bum to do that lifting, to do that work. So you might find that the leg lifts, you might find that it barely lifts, you might find that it doesn't lift at all. It doesn't matter, just to see if I can find the connection with the side of the hip. So think of the side of the hip, the side of the bum. Can I create a little tension in there? Just enough for a little twitch on the muscle. See if I can try and find it. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing down, relaxing the hip, giving the hip a little tap, relaxing the leg. I'm going to try and see if I can reverse the effort. Instead of working the side of the hip, I'm going to work the inner thigh. So if you're lying down, I'm going to drop my top knee down to the ground in front of me, and then I'm going to straighten up the bottom leg. If you find that the knee doesn't go to the ground, then pop a pillow, towel, anything to support that knee so it doesn't stay flapping around. And then from there, I'm just going to try and squeeze the bottom leg up into a lift. So see if I can get the inside of the leg working. If you're sitting up, again, you need a little resistance. So I'm just going to grab hold of my pillow, my ball, anything that I can pop between my knees, and then focusing on that same leg that I was pushing out with. This time I'm going to pull in. So I'm going to drive into the pillow, into the ball, and then release. And then again, drive into the pillow, into the ball, and release. So see if I can be aware of that gentle tension going through the inner thighs. So see if I can find the connection, see if I can get that muscle going. If you're laying down, unfortunately, you can't assist the leg. But if I'm sitting up, I might assist it with my hand. So I'm just going to encourage the leg to push in using my hand to help it or guide it. And then I'm just going to ease back. 5, 4, 3, 2, Last one. And releasing back, releasing the hips, and releasing the inner thighs. If I'm seated, I'm just going to stay seated. If I'm lying down, I'm going to roll over onto the side. So we're going to repeat the same little sequence on the other side. So supporting the head, if you need to support the head, reaching the arm forward so that the back of the shoulder is dropping flat against the mat. The knees are together, so slightly forward to the body line. I'm going to start with the opening and closing doors. So raising the arm up, I'm going to try and find a nice stretch across the front of the chest, turning the rib cage, the face up and towards the ceiling. I'm going to open up nice and wide, and then I'm going to close and come back. Same as you did before. If you're lying down, using the mat to kind of guide you, the floor to guide you. If I'm seated up, again, with one hand, I'm going to stop the legs from me, prevent the legs from moving. With the other arm, I'm going to reach up, holding that glass into the palm of the hand. I'm going to turn and then see how far around I can reach with that glass. And then I'm going to come back. And then again, I'm going to open and close. And then same as you did on the other side. It doesn't matter if the movement feels small. See if you can be aware of that shoulder, making sure that it's not suddenly lifting up towards the head. So it doesn't feel as if my shoulder is suddenly strapped to the back of my ear, the back of my head. The shoulder is down, the neck feels nice and long and nice and loose. So there is no tension lifting up the side of it. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, releasing the shoulders, releasing the back. It's a little bit more movement at the top. I'm going to focus on the legs the same as before, starting with the side of the hip. So if you're lying down on the side, I'm going to start opening up into climb. If I'm seated up, or same as before, I'm going to try and give the leg a little resistance, so something to push against. So it could be my hand. I'm just going to push against my hand, or I'm just going to just easily wrap the band around that legs, and then putting a little tension into the band. With the leg, I'm going to try and push out into the band and then coming back. So same as on the other side. See if I can find that connection to the side of the hip, to the side of the bum. See if I can make it work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and releasing back, giving the hip a little tap, relaxing the hip, releasing the leg, and then I'm going to reverse the effort. So if you're lying down, the top leg, I'm going to slide it forward, dropping the knee on the floor in front of me, straightening up the bottom leg, and then see if I can create a lift into that bottom leg. So see if I can make the inner thigh work. If I'm sitting up, I'm going to put my pillow, my ball between the knees, and then focusing on the inner thigh of the leg that I've just been working with. I'm going to try and squeeze the ball between the knees and then ease that tension. So see if I can try and find that connection to the inside of the thigh on that leg on that side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And releasing back, releasing the hip, releasing the inner thigh. If you're lying down on your side, I want you to roll over onto your front so the belly's on the ground. I'm facing the floor, I'm facing the mat. And then I'm going to work a little bit in extension. So I want to try and open up and lift it through the front of the chest. I want to create space at the front of the body. I want to create length. So setting the arms around the side of the head, the elbows are bent, comfortable position. I'm going to start extending my way up. If I'm sitting up, I could hold on to the legs. I could just rest my hands at the front. I'm going to start pushing the chest forward, trying to stick the chest out, drawing the shoulders back at the same time. See if I can lift up, extend through the upper back. Then I'm going to release, and then I'm going to try again. If I'm lying down on my front, I'm just going to start reaching from the top of the head, lifting the head and the top of the chest. So starting with a little lift, and then eventually if the back feels okay, I might progress and then go up into a slightly bigger extension, into a slightly bigger lift. But making sure that, especially if you're down on your front, so you're going for a bigger, you might be going for a bigger movement. The movement is not causing pain. So there is no shooting pain down the legs. There's no sciatica. There is no pain across the hips and into the lower back. What I want is to just create movement into my back, create space, length at the front of the body. So imagine the distance between the top of your throat and your pubic bone. Imagine it like a little rubber band. I'm going to try and see if I can stretch it longer. And then I'm just going to ease back. Stretch it longer. And then easing back. So feeling all of the front of the body lifting and opening up. The shoulders drawing back and the front of the throat opening without exaggeration. I'm not trying to compress through the cervical spine, but see if I can maybe find a little stretch into the front of the neck too. 3, 2, last one. And releasing back, giving the shoulders a little bit of a roll, giving the hips a little shake. If you're on your front, I want you to stay on your front. If you're seated, staying seated, we're going to work at the other end. So this time I want to work back into the hips. This time focusing on the back of the bum. So if I'm seated, I'm going to clench my bum cheeks together and then leaning forward as if I was trying to lift off the chair and then come back. And again, I'm going to squeeze with my bum cheeks and then lift off and then come back. If you're lying on your front, it's the reverse. I'm going to squeeze my bum cheeks together. Imagine to be pushing your pubic bone down to the floor. And then what I want is for the legs to lift. And then I'm going to release. So I'm going to clench, push the pubic bone down, and then see if I can lift. And then drop back. So see if I can think of a nice strong tension wrapping around the hips into the back of the bum. Again, making sure that that's not creating pressure into my lower back. It's not creating pain into the lower back. If I feel the 2 legs are coming up is too heavy, I can't do that. I can always do 1 leg at a time. So I'm going to do 1, ease that down, and then I'm going to squeeze the other.
See if you can keep that leg straight. So if I'm lying down, see if I can maintain my leg straight as I try to lift it up. So making sure that I'm really trying to get the bum to do the work, not my hamstring, not the back of my leg. 4, 3, 2, last one, and releasing back, giving the hips a little shake, relaxing the hips, releasing the legs. When you're ready, rolling over onto your side and then all the way down onto the back. I'm going to give the legs a little bit of a stretch. So I'm going to set the band around the right foot, nice and flat against the right foot, so that it's not going to slip, it's not going to come off. I'm going to straighten up the leg, and then keeping it nice and straight, I'm going to pull it towards me until I can feel a little tension, a little stretch at the back of the leg. If I'm seated up, same as usual, I've got a couple of options. I can still use the band, straightening up the leg, and then I'm just going to try and see if I can pull the leg up towards me. If I find I can't do that, the legs is too heavy or too temperamental, I'm just going to straighten up the leg as much as I can, and then instead of trying to pull the leg towards me, I'm going to try and come down towards the leg. So see if I can create a little stretch down the back of the leg that way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back. Switching the band around that left leg, that left foot. I'm going to straighten up the left leg and then easing that left leg towards me until I can feel the stretch. Same as before, I'm just going to ease myself forward and towards the leg until I can get a little bit of a stretch down the back of it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the legs, releasing the hips, working through the inner thigh. If you're lying down, keeping the feet together, the knees bent, I'm going to let the knees open out to the side. If I'm seated up, exactly the same. I'm going to try and bring the feet nice and close, and then opening the knees out and away from each other. Using the hands on the inside of the leg to apply a little bit of a pressure if you need to. Just making sure that, especially if you on your back, you're not feeling pressure into the back of the hips and into the lower back. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Easing back to center. I'm going to stretch down the side of the hip this time. So if you're lying down, lifting the right leg, bring it towards you. With the opposite hand, with my left hand, I'm going to pull the leg across until I can feel the stretch down the side of the hip. If I'm seated up, I can do the same. So I'm going to cross my right leg over the left and then pulling it across until I can feel a little stretch down the hip. If I can't lift the leg over, then I'm going to push both legs to the side to see if I can give a little stretch that way. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and easing back to center. Same thing to the other side. Left leg comes up. I'm going to bring it across and then see if I can find the angle that allows the hip to stretch. So finding the position that works best. If I'm seated up, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and releasing back, releasing the leg, releasing the hips.
Finding your comfortable seated position, rolling over onto your side, pushing yourself up into sitting. So using the arms to offer a little support if I know that I can't sit up very straight, I feel a bit restricted, I feel a bit too stiff. Finding the seat bones to see if I can try and plant the seat bones down onto the floor, down onto the chair. And then when you're ready, I'm going to start going into extension. So I'm going to lift up, pushing the chest forward. I'm going to lift up as I can. I'm going to tip the head back, looking forward, looking up, looking back, opening up the front of the body. And then I'm just going to release and reverse, letting the chin drop down to the chest so the shoulders come forward. I'm going to roll down, stretching the back of the body. Then again, I'm going to uncurl all the way back up. I'm going to open up, extend through the front of the body, and then releasing, coming forward, rolling down, flexing forward, opening up the back of the body. Last time, I'm curling all the way back up, extending through the front of the body, and then releasing, coming forward, one hand to the belly, one hand to the back. Take a bow, give yourself a clap for that. Any question or anything as usual, please say. Remember, you need to unmute yourself.